we're getting started, and I'm going to call this Project 19 for obvious reasons, the coronavirus number 19 or whatever. So from here on out, we're going to follow up on what we already said down on the Cape, that we're going to come home and we're going to get to work on these cushion covers for the port and starboard quarter berths on Little Girl. And we're starting starboard. And so I've got both panels all cut. All these have been cut forever, and because they've been all just rolled up, I'm going to go ahead and iron everything first. But then once that's all done, we're going to get to doing some sewing. Well, pinning up first, and then sewing. But before all that, we have to do yes, even in Vermont, a new stuff corner. I better introduce it first, because I don't have the old one here. You'll remember at the end of the last episode where we had finished sanding out the port side of the boat and started sanding on the starboard side of the boat, that my, what was it, Randy? Rigid, yeah, I have to remind myself of what the brand name was. Anyway, after all that I went through yesterday, my rigid random orbital sander had basically, every time you touched it to the surface, the power would fall off immediately. Well, look, I mean, I just put that thing through torture. And I'm sure that that's why that the engine was really loaded up with a whole bunch of bottom dust in there. But I called Rigid, made sure that my warranty was in effect, because I had jumped through all the hoops, did all the stuff to get that thing lifetime warranted. And they said, well, take it back down to the Home Depot store, which is what I did, took it down to Home Depot. And they said, oh, okay, well, just go get you a new one. And so I went and got a new one, and they just said, okay, you're all set, except for one thing. As soon as you turn in your old one, your warranty, your lifetime warranty, is immediately voided. And you've got to do this all over again for your new one. And so I had to go back and get a nullified receipt or some such thing, I forgot. And I went through all the hassle, was on the phone with Rigid 5 or 6 times. They were awesome. I got to give it to them. They were awesome. And by the time the day was over, I had a brand new Rigid random orbital sander, and it's all registered. Well, registered, it's been submitted, and they'll approve it in the next couple of days. So anyway, okay, well, let me turn this around and show you my new sander, which you already know about because you've been seeing my old one. Very, very covered in black bottom dust, but let me turn this around. Okay, so this is an identical copy of what I already had that kind of burned itself out with bottom dust. But anyway, it's original random orbital sander, 5-inch. Works like a champ. I mean, I have no complaints about the old one. I just... by the way, rigid rules are either manufacturer fault, in other words, some problem with the manufacturer, or let's see, what's the other? If it's manufacturer, or if it's normal usage. That's not the term, but if it's just normal wear and tear, normal usage, then the warranty is good. And they stood by the warranty, so I'm good to go here. So I've already done the lifetime warranty. And guys, if you get a Rigid product, definitely do it. It's going to pay. Oh, you're looking at a brand new unit here because of that marvelous lifetime warranty that I took the trouble to go all through. So let's go ahead and get this opened up. And now I opened it yesterday just for one thing, and that was just to get the paperwork out so that I could get the serial number and all that kind of good stuff. Okay. Hang on. There we go. By the way, nice carry bag. Nice carry bag. Got one just like it, which I didn't turn back in because it's filthy. But let's go ahead and get this out. There's all the paperwork. And there it is. Nice and new and clean. Take a good look at it. That's the last time you're going to see it that look. Man, just about 2 feet of bottom work, and the thing is going to be black as the ace of spades, you know. So anyway, but that's all I have for New Stuff Corner. But I'll tell you, it's a biggie, and I'm just really, really glad that Rigid stood behind their tools, and I'll give them the most of praise. I mean, I don't know if another machine would have responded differently. I dare say that almost any sander is going to be really, really put to the test by inhaling. You see all these right in here? All that dust gets right in there. Even though you got the dust collection area, you know, to be, you know, that keeps the stuff from going out into the air. You know, dust has got to get inside there where, you know, this is for the engine to breathe, I guess, or the motor. So anyway, hey, brand new Rigid, and I love it. Warranted lifetime. Oh, that's good and hot. Okay. My wife told me I didn't have to iron this, but I'll tell you what, if I'm going to be doing a job, and especially something as picky for me, as sewing, I'm definitely going to iron it first. That way I kind of know where it's at. I don't have to be all hassling with wrinkles and things laying unevenly under the foot of the sewing machine. I'm not gonna kill it with you know, tons of going over and over it, but I definitely want to get the major wrinkles out. This is coming out great. I haven't even started doing the steam part of it yet. Even with just the heat, it's working pretty good. Well, I cannot tell you how many months ago it was that I meticulously laid out and cut all these panels with the new foam rubber. I'll look that up, and I'll try to leave a link to the episodes where I was cutting the foam, and my goodness, I had to be at least a year ago I was doing all that. And but anyway, we'll go back and refresh my own mind on it. One of the things I did with this, all these seams are very clearly marked. My wife has this wonderful, I guess, sewing pencil. I don't know what it is. Anyway, so it's going to be pretty easy to know where my seams are and where to pin. One of the things about restoring an old boat, or doing any kind of work on a boat, you have to learn all kinds of stuff, including learning how to sew, which I've known about for a good while. All right, that's it for now. That's all, because that is typical of all the other stuff I'm going to be doing. So I'm just going to let that one lay, and we'll get back to this when we actually start sewing. This afternoon, I got just a whole lot more ironing to get the panels ready to get going. So, all right, we'll get back to you later. When I cut these panels for the port and starboard quarter berth, I was very, very careful to mark up in the corner what they were. Now, starboard, I just did inside bottom, inside top. Port, it's marked port inside bottom, port inside top. That way we know where we're at. And so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Starboard's all nicely ironed and laid over there. And now we're going to get started on the port. Okay, well, I got the side panel for a port side all marked out today. The the cushions are four inches deep, and that means you got to have a 5-inch panel, half-inch seam allowance top and bottom. So this is all marked out, and this is going to be long enough to be able to go all the way around one end, all the way around the 6-foot length, and then around the other end, and then there's going to be a separate set of panels done in the back for the zipper. So anyway, next step is get this baby cut out, and once we get that cut out, we'll iron it, and we'll be pretty close to starting to do the sewing up of our panels and getting these cushions ready. All right, guys, well, here we are with another phase of What's New Corner. Yesterday I went over to Joann Fabrics and picked these up. These are the zippers for my port and starboard quarter berths, and I had to buy 100-inch because they didn't have 72-inch. The cushions are 6 feet long, both of them. And but you know, that's fine. The way that zippers work, these 100-inchers will do the job very nicely. These are actually sleeping bag zippers, which are really heavy duty, nice canvas, should hold up for a long time. And the zipper's not going to get used that much anyway. Once the cushions are in place, they're there. That's all there is to it. But in the meantime, you ready for this? $20 each, $40 for two zippers going into my port and starboard quarter berth cushions. So, okay, actually, I think it's going to end up being probably the most expensive part of the whole thing. I don't remember how much we bought. We bought a whole bolt of this royal blue canvas for the cushions themselves. But anyway, just a little addition on to the What's New corner. And now I got to get back to work. I'm getting ready to. Actually, I think I'm going to do one of the zipper panels first, just to get the experience of doing some sewing. So, all right, we'll get back to you in a few minutes when we get the sewing machine set up. Okay, well, here is the port cushion on the panel that I cut. Phew, I don't even know how long ago it was. And I've just been doing that. So, by the way, I already did it with the top. This is the top. I already did it on its bottom panel, and I'll tell you, the fit is perfect. It's exactly what it's supposed to be, with a 5/8 inch seam, and it's just perfect all the way around. I was kind of worried because it's been so long, I didn't remember how well it had been cut, but there it is, perfection. And I'm going to do this with the starboard as also. I'm going to wait till morning. But anyway, looking good. Port and starboard, excuse me, port, top and bottom panels are just right on the money. And now all I got to do is take those new panels I cut that also have 5/8 inch seams, and I can get to stitching. So, all right, that's it. Oh, I forgot about this. This is the one that I joined. Originally, I thought about having this just be a cushion on the port side, and not do a full quarter berth. But then my brother said, "Wait a minute. So whoever sails with you has to sleep in the V berth." He just gave me a guilt trip, and so I said, "Okay." So I joined these two, and the joint is so perfect. You can see a dim line there, but you can't even feel anything. It's just really, really nice job that I did on those. Yeah, joining foam rubber is a simple matter when you use a special 3M adhesive spray stuff. Anyway, all right, that's it for now. Before I go to bed, let me see what time it is. Before I go to bed, I may go ahead and get the starboard up here and take a look at that. But boy, that is right on the button. This is so cool. All right, guys, that's it for port, and I'm going to get going on starboard. I'll show you that when I get it set up. Well, guys, the first zipper panel is done. I've actually already cut out the seam, and if you look right in here, there's the zipper. I'll get it out here. There we go. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Ah, there we go, and there's the, yeah, there we go. See, and next time this goes on, it'll be going on the yeah, quarter berth cushion, and stuffing that big old foam rubber into it. So anyway, so number one, I got one more to do after this, and then I got to start cutting side panels and start assembling the whole thing. Well, good morning from Project 19. Got this all pinned up last night. The bottom is all stitched on, actually the top, and I went ahead and got everything lined out, and believe me, it's not easy. Anyway, technical stuff, but I did manage to get everything pinned up. And today, during the day, I'm not going to do it this morning because I've got some computer work to do. But during the day today, I hope to get the bottom stitched on, and we're leaving tomorrow for the Cape. My mom and dad need us to get down there. I've got to do a dump run, and we're taking them some groceries and stuff like that, so that they don't have to get out during this crisis time. But anyway, I just wanted to show you this. The cool part is that once I get this stitched on, I get the zipper panel stitched on, I'm going to go ahead and put the foam in and just kind of see how everything fits. And I mean, hey, if I did this right, and I think I did, we're going to be in good shape. Let's see, this will be, just trying to reason this. This is starboard. This will be the starboard cushion. And yeah, kind of glad to get this finally done, and then we'll turn around and start working on port. But if I don't get this done before I leave, and I very well may not, I'm going to go ahead and take this to the Cape. My mom has a great sewing machine down there, and I'm going to go ahead and just bring it upstairs and put it on the dining room table and kind of work up there probably. Otherwise, just kind of like working in my man cave, because the bedroom we're staying in is in the basement. So, all right, guys, that's it for this morning. And just let you know, we do have this trip coming up to the Cape. And with that, I'm going to leave you. And next time you see this, it may be all done with a cushion already in it. So, hey, big steps forward in Project 19. Okay, so here we are back down in my man cave. Just to finish up on this particular video, the whole deal is I am no seamstress, and the result of that, it takes me a long time to get this stuff done. Look, I've gotten so much accomplished on this starboard cushion already. I'm just going to let this be it as far as the video is concerned, and I'm moving on. When I get everything all done, I'll show you when I'll take some pictures and, make that part of another video. But for right now, I think we're just going to call this a wrap. And listen, thanks for stopping by Restoring Little Girl. And hope you guys have a great one. Just stay safe. Stay safe. Shelter in as much as you can. Wash your hands, etc., etc. I don't call this project not for 19 for nothing, because the only reason I'm getting all this stuff done is because, as a minister, I can't go and visit people and all this kind of stuff. A lot of what I do, aside from on the internet and making phone calls, and there's been a ton of them. I'm just like everybody else. Everything has kind of come to a grinding halt here. So at least during this time, my wife and I are still well, and I can go ahead and get a lot done on a project that has been taking me a long time to get to. So, all right, well, listen, thanks for stopping by, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. We're heading down to the Cape, and so that's going to be another whole video coming up. But we'll see you next time, and stay safe.